This morning in the Atlanta airport, no one's missing a meal on Mac Wilburn's watch. With 11 restaurants to serve passengers, he's got dining for every destination. And it all started when Mac talked with First Horizon Bank about opening a franchise in the airport. Now it's open for business and cleared for takeoff. First Horizon Bank. Let's find a way. Go to firsthorizon.com/Mac. First Horizon Bank, member FDIC.
This is an Extra 106.3 podcast. To hear more live and local content like this, tune into 106.3 FM or download the Extra 106.3 app. Extra 106.3 and a Second Chance Bail Bonds are here to back your blue. Back Your Blue highlights special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Join a Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Matalon and host Tug Coward to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. Now it's time to Back Your Blue on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra 106.3 app.
Welcome to Back Your Blue on Extra 106.3. My name is Tug Coward, along with Daniel Matalon of a Second Chance Bail Bonds, CEO of there. What's up, man? How are you?
Doing well.
Buddy, we have some good guests today. Major Stephen Gaynor and Sergeant Randall Finney here to talk about the GED program for inmates in Cobb County, because they are from the Cobb County Sheriff's Office, and that was recently featured in an AJC article. And they're also going to promote a big event, Cobb Sheriff's backpack giveaway event that y'all are very involved with.
Yeah, we've been involved with the backpack drive since inception. Yeah, from the beginning. It's a fun day.
Big fun day, and heavily involved, I assume, sir.
Heavily involved from the start. We started off small, started building. I think this is going to be one of our biggest programs ever.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what was the genesis of the whole program to begin with?
Well, we just wanted to reach out to the community to do a little something for the kids going back to school, and just put things together. And then as we've developed, this program is really bigger than any one we've ever had. On July 13th at Fair Oaks Park in Marietta, and we're going to have bouncy houses. We're going to have all kinds of games. We'll have teacher supplies, school supplies, book bags. Just going to be a great event.
That's awesome. Sergeant Finney, how long have you been involved with it?
I am over the GD program. I'm excited about this backpack program. This is the first year I've been able to be a part of it.
So it'll be something new for you, too.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I'm very excited about it. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Anytime you can give back to the community, I think you're doing good work. But you've been, Sergeant Finney, with the office for 22 years.
22 years.
Yeah. Joining in November of 2002, the inmate program coordinator oversaw key initiatives like the GED program, Parenting 101, anger management, and some probation programs as well, and then serves as the liaison between Cobb County schools and any high school student currently in the facility, ensuring that their educational needs are met, because that seems like something that would get overlooked quite easily.
Yes, it's tough, but helping out these kids so that they don't get lost.
Yeah.
That's important.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
So it's fun. It's tiring. It's tough, but it's good to see these kids still being able to continue their education while they're in this bad situation that they're in.
I can only imagine how rewarding it is when
Absolutely.
when you get those milestones and those
Absolutely.
accomplishments, and look, it's still, they're still high school students, so that stuff really
babies.
matters. They're still
Yes.
Absolutely
babies.
I'm glad you said it. I was going to, but then I was afraid to, because I don't want to, Anyway, any way the description goes, it is good when kids and young men and women accomplish goals, because it shows them that they can do something. Even though they're in a tough situation right now, that doesn't mean they have to be in that situation for the rest of their life.
That is correct, and that's something I try to express to them each and every day.
No, that's impressive.
Keep pushing.
Absolutely. So let's go through a couple of the different programs, because the GED program, that's the one that I know you're here to talk about. I want to get into all of them, but GED program, how long has that been around?
It's been around since July of 2022.
Okay.
This past June, we had a graduation where we graduated 13 detainees. So it was a very exciting time Currently, we have 36, 37
Yeah.
that'll be starting our next semester starting July 8th. So we just started summer break last Tuesday.
Okay.
It's exciting.
So walk me through the process, because it obviously is not like a traditional you're going to school, but I would imagine you want to keep it as close to that as you possibly can.
Correct. I'll walk in. I'll ask anyone who is interested if they have their GED or high school diploma. Anyone who doesn't and they're interested, they'll sign up. Then we'll go through a pre-testing to see what level they're at.
Right, sure.
And then from there, we start class.
Yeah.
It's 2 days a week, 2 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, it's just you're doing homework on your own.
Okay.
And then when the teachers identify that you're ready to test, there's 4 subject matters. Then we test Tuesday mornings. We'll sit out there, test, and then go from there.
So you're not teaching the classes. So
I am
teachers,
not. No, I'm there, but not
right.
teaching.
No.
No.
That'd be like me teaching, I guess.
No.
The last thing that wants me teaching anything to
Not at
anybody.
all.
I couldn't even teach my kid to ride a bicycle. That's how bad I am. I'm telling you, it'd be terrible. But it's awesome. So where do the teachers come from? Are they volunteers, or are they? What's that process?
They are volunteers that come through the Cobb County Adult Board of Education or Adult Ed, and they are amazing. Ms. J and Ms. D, they are so wonderful. They have a good rapport with the students. They come in, students are eyes on the whole time, and they work hard. Ms. D, she does the math portion of class, and she starts the class off with warm-up assignments, and I sit there right with them and I do them, and it's some hard math. It's been a while since I've been in high school. And it took me a while to get back to it. So
Yeah, I can only imagine.
It's fun.
No, that's great. And these people are bringing such potential opportunities for these kids. And it's, like, it does my heart a world of good just to hear that it's happening. And I bet people listening right now would say the same thing, because I don't think this is something that crosses people's mind. You're thinking about rehabilitation in so many different ways when it comes to a kid that's gotten off on a bad track, and it doesn't have to define who they are. And I love the fact that it doesn't, but it seemingly gets overlooked so easily. And I just applaud you for taking on the responsibility, man. And like you said, in there trying to do the homework too, making sure you brush up on your skills.
Yes.
I would fail. It'd be so bad. It'd be so bad.
The first couple of days were so bad.
Yeah. Do you see the kids, though, because you said, eyes forward, and like these kids are engaged and they want to learn and they want to be involved. What is the rate of kids that are going on and getting the entire thing done and accomplishing their goal of getting their degree done?
Well, I just want to make sure it's kids and adults.
Okay,
also.
Yeah, sure.
So probably it's been about 2.5 months. They can finish the 4 tests and get their GED. If they're motivated, you can probably get it done about in a month.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of it's on how much the student wants to work.
Yeah, I got it.
And I'm a motivator.
Yeah, right.
I motivate.
How do you do that?
I motivate.
Yeah. Encouragement. Strong encouragement. Yeah,
yes.
I like it. No, it's good. And no, that's fantastic. Can we go through a couple of the other program, Parenting 101, because yet many people that have kids and their situation varies.
Yes. The parenting it's a great program. Our counselors, Dr. Anderson and Counselor Saliba, they do a great job going through it's a 6-week program. They meet once a week for an hour. No, twice a week for an hour. And just identify different tips and tools on how to become a more effective parent, how to become a more present parent. So it's been great. We just had a graduation last Thursday for some of our female detainees.
Okay.
So it was really good.
And that is so important. I think that's something that's oftentimes looked over too, is the importance of a role of a parent in a kid's life. And if there's someone that obviously is being detained right now, that role is being interrupted. And so
Correct.
To be able to help these parents navigate through that and give them that hand up that they need, man, not only is it affecting the person that you're helping, but those kids for the rest of their life.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely.
that's an impressive, and
yes,
that's one of those things that oh my gosh, I think you're doing the Lord's work, you know?
It's an intense class, very intense class. It's a lot of self-reflecting.
Soul searching?
Yes.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. And what is the reaction to it been so far? Is everybody that goes in is like they're motivated to do it?
Absolutely.
That's great.
And they come out, you can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell they're in a much better place. So,
Okay.
yeah, I'm happy for them.
Yeah, we're going to get to Major Stephen Gaynor here in just a little bit, talk more about the backpack drive. Let's continue on with anger management, because that seems to be one of those obvious type classes that you would need. And yet, you know, these days, if you watch the news or you see social media, there's people acting out and lashing out all the time. This is something that needs to be everybody needs to go through. I swear, I think everybody needs to go through an anger management course at this point.
Absolutely.
Whether it's, it's just like road rage. It could be somebody getting mad at the grocery store. There's just people it just seems like there's people waiting just to, it's like they anticipate being angry and they can't wait till they get that opportunity, you know? And I think that's probably what you're helping people with.
Yes. And it's been interesting and fun to see people who have started the class and where they are when they start versus where they've ended, and to watch their demeanor actively change.
Yeah, and how they process a particular situation.
How you can understand it's okay to be angry, but it's how you respond to that anger.
That's exactly right.
And it's been a great help.
No, I'm sure. I'm going to tell you, this happened to me the other day. I was at the grocery store, and this dude, it's nothing worse than the guy that doesn't put his buggy back.
Oh.
It's the worst. The worst. So this dude didn't put his buggy back, and he happened to be parked nose to us, and he just left it there, right? And so I saw it, and then I grabbed, we unloaded our groceries, and I was taking our buggy back, and I was like, I'm not leaving that there, even though this clown is going to leave his. So I went over there and got it, and so he got mad because I got it. He was like, I leave it there all the time. He rolled down his window to holler at me for taking and doing what he should have done. I leave it there all the time. And I was like, yep, and you are not, you're not helping. I'm trying to clean up what I said.
Yes, I understand.
Absolutely. I was like, you're a jerk every time you do it. That's pretty much what I said. And he went off, and so I put it away. And but it was it was one of those incidents. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah,
too.
no, it's the worst. But
just park next to a cart. Cart buggy. You'll
That's
be
right.
fine.
You get a big old scratch.
Yeah.
Hi, Randy Oak right here, one of the comms specialists for CCSO. I wanted to mention about the anger management.
Sure.
But very important piece with Counselor Saliba. What she does with the ladies, our female detainees, is advising that, as women, it's okay to be angry because, this is stigma like, if you're, an angry woman, you're a bad word and things like that. But she teaches them healthy ways to identify that it's okay to be angry. You can express your anger, but let's find more positive ways to do that. So that was a big highlight that they didn't do before. And I also want to add with these classes, one of the good things with the Cobb County Sheriff's Office offering these, typically when our detainees or people in our care are released, they have to pay to go to these classes, which can start $50, go up to $200.
Wow.
But they're able to get these for free while being in our care. So that's another plus of the program.
Holy smokes. Yeah, those are great points. And I'm so glad you brought them up. As we talk, if there's more of these, please bring them in. It's so fascinating to hear this stuff because I don't know about it. I guarantee you people listening don't know about it and want to and are so proud of what our community's doing to help folks. Because that's, at the end of the day, that's what we need to be doing, helping one another. Hands up all the time, man. Just giving people a hand up and pointing them in the right direction. When we come back, we'll talk more about the programs with Sergeant Finney, and we'll talk about the backpack drive with Major Stephen Gaynor, a guy that retired and came out of retirement just to lend a hand up again, just help. And that's what we get at the Cobb County Sheriff's Office. We'll continue on Back Your Blue with Daniel Madelon of A Second Chance Bail Bonds here on Extra 106.3.
Extra 106.3 and A Second Chance Bail Bonds are here to back your blue. Now back to the show on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Welcome back to Back Your Blue on Extra 106.3. My name is Tug Coward, along with Daniel Madelon of A Second Chance Bail Bonds. And you brought in some great guests today from the Cobb County Sheriff's Department, or Sheriff's Office. Major Stephen Gaynor and Sergeant Randall Finney. And I know you've worked with these guys so much.
Yeah, I live in Cobb County, so I do have a special place in my heart for the Cobb County
That's
Sheriff's
right.
Office.
Soft
clearly.
spot. You know, during the break, Major Gaynor, you were talking about the whole point of all of these classes.
So the whole objective by Sheriff Owens is to make these folks have another avenue besides returning back to us, repeat offenders or regular customers. We don't want regular customers
That's
back.
right.
We want them to develop, and that's what Sergeant Finney's programs do. They develop another avenue to keep going, whether it be work ready, the construction trades that they teach them in there, the GED program. They get the anger management, so they get out there and they don't get in that fight that brought them to us.
You walk away.
You walk away. You learn things. So that's the whole goal of the sheriff. Is I like seeing you this one time, but don't come back.
That's right. Yeah,
Yep.
I'd rather see you at in the community as a productive citizen and taking care of your family, taking care of yourself, doing things the right way. I mean, that's the whole goal, and I love that, man. I think that's such an admirable goal. And how often is that happening? Do you feel like that y'all have been super successful?
Yes. I've had calls from people who have gone through the construction program, through the GD program, who have said, I've got an interview.
That's awesome. That has to put a
I've
smile
got
on
a
your
job.
face.
I'm excited.
Yeah, of course.
I love it.
But that's that human connection.
Right.
I mean, we all hope the best for folks.
Yeah, when I'm spending 3 and 4, 5 hours a week with these folks, you get to know them a little bit.
Sure.
And you don't want anybody to come back.
No, of course
No,
not.
you want to see them succeed.
You want to see
That's
them
what you want.
succeed.
That's why you're
Sergeant.
working so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's so fantastic. And do you have a good story about
Absolutely.
a success story that you could share with us?
So I'm over the GED program, as we said, and the construction ready. One of the requirements for the construction ready class is that you have to have a GED.
Okay, stepping stone.
So as I'm getting the final roster for my construction class that started at the beginning of May, there's one name on the list. It says, hey, he can be in the class, but he doesn't have his GED. Well, it just so happened the morning I got the email that afternoon, that morning he took his final part of the GED test, passed it, got his GED. So this was Thursday, so he was able to start the class that Monday. He was ecstatic, just
That's
over the
awesome.
moon. So he finished the construction class, end of May.
Okay.
Graduated, so he got his GED, and he had a bunch
trade.
of a trade, all within 6 weeks.
A
7
marketable
weeks.
trade
Yes.
is something that you can go to the workplace and the marketplace and say, I can do this for your company. Or heck, for that matter, start his own company one day.
He'll walk out the door with 8 certifications and a GED.
Son, I need to get locked up. I'm kidding. I'll come out there. I'll give me all kinds of degrees, too. I'm a 3-time college dropout, man. I'm like, let's go. But it's so funny that there is such positivity coming out of a place that could be only negative.
Absolutely.
There's such positivity that is coming from the Cobb County Sheriff's Office. And Major, you're seeing it as well.
Right. We could just sit back and let them do their time, and out the door they go or on to the next step. But the sheriff's always had this vision that I want to make these folks better if I can. If they're willing to step forward with Sergeant Finney and his programs, then he's willing to give them the time and the effort of our staff to make them better.
I love that. I mean, that is, at the end of the day, I have to think that is the best way to handle this situation. It's going from a completely negative, something that could stay completely negative, and you're taking and molding the clay into something completely different. I mean, that is, if there's anything that Cobb County is known for or wants to be known for, that has to be it.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that is just terrific, and I'm so glad that y'all are doing it. And it's remarkable. And earlier we were talking about some of the kids that are coming out and going through, some of the adults coming out and going through, and you're just seeing positivity all around in a bad situation. It's unbelievable, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
I know you have to be proud of yourself. I know you probably don't share that a lot, but you should, man. You should. You should be proud of it.
I'm honored to be a part of the process for these folks. It's been fun to watch where they started in February for some of the people when we started classes in this recent class in February, to watch them grow through for me to go and tell them, hey, you passed one test, you passed 2 tests, 3, 4, and the look on their faces of achievement, of accomplishment. You know, it's jail. You're supposed to have a certain tough,
sure, I get it,
hard demeanor, but to watch any grown-up turn into a little kid and start jumping up and down when they
be proud of themselves.
That's right. It's fun. Absolutely.
It may have been a day or 2 since they've been able to be proud of themselves, and you've given them that opportunity, and you're very humble about it, and I appreciate that, man.
Thank you very
God bless
much.
You.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Now let's get the truth going.
And now I got to take that away.
Yeah, so let's get the truth
because,
going.
Sergeant Randall Finney, he's a very humble guy, but this guy is amazing. He gets so much respect from the people in our care because of his demeanor. He doesn't treat them like, animals or like they're not people. He's very respectful, and they love and respect him so much. He's so hardworking. Even when communication's like, hey, we need to put up a step and repeat, we need to do a walkthrough, he doesn't give us any mess. He allows us to do what we need to do.
That's
we appreciate him very much. He's an amazing sergeant and very good for our agency. And I will add one other thing is that our GED training center, we just actually opened a GED training center in our agency, and it is going to actually at the jail in March of 2023. And what this is typically the people in our care, when they are taking their GED classes, they had to go off-site. But Sheriff Owens, he wanted to make sure, let's make it easier for them, put them where they're in an environment they're familiar with. So we opened our own GED training center, which has helped our students to pass and do well because they're there. They know the people. They know the surroundings.
The equipment, everything is hand in glove.
Yes, and so again, we want to thank our Cobb Sheriff Foundation and the Delta Boulay who helped us just get this facility. And so it's been a very big help, which again, Sergeant Finney has been very much over. Thank you, sir.
Humble and kind, man. You need to go listen to that Tim McGraw song, "Humble and Kind," because that's what you are. And they're lucky to have you in Cobb County, and we're lucky to have you in Cobb County. Everybody involved is so remarkable. Let's talk to Major Gaynor, because you have been in law enforcement since 1985. That was, if I'm not mistaken, that's when Back to the Future came out.
It was a long time ago. I know that much.
Which everybody loves that movie. Who doesn't love Back to the Future? No, but joined the Cobb County Police Department in 1990, served in various units over 25 years before retiring, but then was so committed to your community, to our community, that you returned as a part-time officer for 3 years and joined Sheriff Craig Owens' team in 2020 as the commander of Community Engagement Unit. And you've been active in the Fraternal Order of Police for 26 years, serving as the local president and state lodge secretary. So, buddy, that sounds like a lot. That sounds like a busy way of living.
I think I get bored if I'm not busy.
Yeah, it sounds like
I wouldn't know what to do with myself.
I got to tell you, I'm a fan of being lazy. I don't think I'd be good. I kid, somewhat. No, I will spend time on the couch and not think twice about it. No, but seriously, you've done all of this stuff and you've been so successful, and now you're seeing programs like the one that Sergeant Finney's involved with, and that so many people are benefiting from, and the backpack program, and we're going to get into that too because it's one of the biggest things that I know, Daniel, one of your biggest events, one of your biggest fundraisers that y'all are involved with.
Pretty much anything they do, we support.
Yeah, so
always there.
What brought you back to police work, man? After you retired, you're supposed to be playing golf. You're supposed to be fishing. You're supposed to be spending time with the grandkids, because I see there's some kids and grandkids that are in the family. So you're supposed to be doing that stuff instead.
Well,
you're still serving the community.
Resist the sheriff's offer. He just said, "I need you to come back."
How did he do it? Did he call you and ask to go to lunch, or how did this come down?
We were actually in the campaign. We were, watching the numbers coming in, and he said, "You coming back to work?" And I said, "I'm enjoying retirement. Part-time for the
Clearly
PD
not.
It's just 3 days a week. You only got to get 29 hours." So I'm like, "Nah, I need you to come back." So when we came back, it was originally called community outreach, and he said, "I don't want you to outreach to the community. I want you to engage the community, make them be part of our organization.
Wow.
Bring them into the fold, help them understand everything we want to do. I want the community to be on board with us and be part of our team."
Trust is what the capital is that y'all work off of, right? I mean, that's the most important thing at the police department at Cobb County, and that takes an actual effort to build that trust and to keep that trust and to nurture that trust, because it's one of those things that trust is hard to gain and easy to lose.
I guess you're correct in that. Over 40 years of the sheriff's office, they never really were engaged in the community. So when we started showing up, we're actually members of 5 business associations in Cobb. We go to all the fairs and festivals pretty much. We started showing up, and people like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
You're
nervous.
looking for somebody? No, we want to be part of this. You want to be what?
Be part of what? What are y'all going to do while you're part of it?
We want to reach out. We want to be part. We want to understand what you're doing in this community, how we can help. What can we add to make this even better? And people, at first, were a little standoffish, but now we're part of it. We're part of the organization. We're part of the business communities. We get asked to have lecturers come in. We do a great fraud presentation for the business owners. That's the biggest thing around town is fraud.
Yeah.
So that's a big program for us. Everybody wants to know, what's the sheriff's doing now? What is Sheriff Owens doing right now? What about the mounted patrol? Tell us about the mounted patrol. Tell us about
what is
motors.
That? I don't even know what that is. What is that?
we have 7 horses in mounted patrol.
Oh, mounted patrol.
Yeah, mounted patrol.
That sounded like that was Massachusetts coming out because I didn't even understand that word.
Yeah. So we get them out in the community. The horses, although they're 18 and a half tall, that's a pretty tall horse.
They're huge.
So cool.
Huge.
That's so
They get
cool.
a lot of attention.
I guess so.
This book bag event, we'll have the mounted patrol there. We'll have the motors there. The SWAT vehicles will be there. We're going to have a great show. This is probably, Daniel, one of our biggest. We're going to have vendors. I mean, we've been working on this is the 4th year, and man, we've made it big this time.
I think that you guys do job fair too, right?
Yeah, we're going to have job people there.
It encompasses
tutors.
the whole. I mean, you think of it, anything, it's all there. I mean, everything.
Yeah, we have never had it this big.
And this is all part of the backpack giveaway.
Back to school. It's for teachers also,
yeah.
so they do a lot of stuff for the teachers. Kids can look at the SWAT trucks and
what about adults?
Come on,
we get to go look at it too.
Come on.
Yeah, I want to, but that's something you've cared about for such a long time. Have you been involved all 4 years?
Mm-hmm. I mean, anything Sheriff Owens. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of Sheriff Owens. So therefore, pretty much anything that he's, any of his initiatives, we support.
How did that relationship start, though? Where did it start?
It was started before he was elected.
Okay.
Sheriff. And we've just had a very close bond, and I support pretty much everything and anything he does. I just think that he's done an exceptional job, and the Cobb County Sheriff's Office in general is just A+ for me. So
yeah,
they don't do anything wrong in my books.
Yeah, right. No, I love it.
Well, I think you always had the philosophy of I want to make my community better. So when Sheriff Owens came along, you would that's what he wants to do as well. So let me see if I can join on
this. It's much different, from 2020 going forward. What's just involved at the sheriff's office. Look, we're a bail bonding company, right? So it's just stay away. Kind of like what he was talking about, where people saying, well, we don't, why are you guys here? And we get a lot of that, right?
Sure.
Just because of the stigma attached to bail, but really our core values at A Second Chance align with the core values of the sheriff's department, and we're big in community give back. That's what we do on a daily basis. So the fact that they give us the opportunity to help out, I mean, it's just if you haven't been out to the event, you need to come check it out.
Well, let's talk about it. Tell me the who, what, when, where, why.
So we're going to do it on July 13th, Saturday. It's going to be at Fair Oaks Park in Marietta. It's a very sizable park, so we're going to have a lot of things there. So in the parking lot, we will have all the shows that I told you, the horses, the motors, the SWAT, the drones. People love drones.
Yeah.
We got a great drone unit. Off to the side, we'll have the stage. We'll have some entertainment. We'll have a screen. We show some promotional videos and some stuff for community, like fraud. That kind of intelligence. Inside, we will have some vendor tables. We hope to have about 20. That's the big add-on, Daniel. I don't think you know this one yet.
Do we need a drum roll? I feel like we need a timpani or something.
We hope to have 5 barbers cutting hair for the kids for free.
That's awesome.
We've got a little room set aside. We just worked it the other day. We're working on getting the commitments from these barbers to come in. I think that'll be a good addition to this event this time.
That's where the real community happens.
Right.
I mean, like fellowship and people just spending time with one another. And that's like the coolest. That's awesome. What gave you the idea to do that?
Well, we were doing the walkthrough, and we had this, like I said, this park is pretty good size. So we were looking through and looked in this one room, and I said, it'd be pretty cool to have kids get haircuts here.
Yeah.
And one of the other people said, well, we can get them barbers. We've been doing some community events with barbers.
Sure.
Doing little community talks. And we can get them. The sheriff even did something, I think about a month or two ago, where he went down and he played pool or something down in the barbershop down in Mableton. We're like, we can probably sign those barbers up.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, we get them in here. Kids come in, they have a good time. They get to play some games. I think we even had discussions about having one of them mobile toy trucks. I call it a men's cave, a man cave on wheels.
Like, what is that?
Like it rolls up and it's got Nintendo and all.
The gaming
play
trucks.
all them
The
video
gaming
games.
truck. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
gaming
Those
truck.
are so cool.
It's a man
Very
cave on
fun.
wheels.
I'm so bad at video games. Like my son, who's about to turn 20, he's into it like every other kid, right? And he was at YouTube. Sarge Finney said,
All
I'm
day.
into. What's your favorite?
Right now, Madden,
Okay.
X-Defiant,
Okay.
Call of Duty.
Yeah, okay, yeah, all the ones, same ones my kids.
Yes.
My son tried to get me to play with him because it's it's just that bonding time, right? And I couldn't quit looking up. That's all I did was look up. I was like, how do I not look up? And then I shot in the game. I was out before I got started good. Yeah. So that's cool.
Yeah.
That is fun.
A lot of new ideas this time around.
Yeah, because they bring out, I'm sure, the new gaming systems, but then they have the old ones, and that's where I reside. Like I'm hell on wheels on Pac-Man.
Yeah.
or Frogger or something, on Donkey Kong or something, but the rest of them not so much. But that's awesome. Where do you take input from like Sergeant Finney and the other officers in the office to say, hey man, this is a good idea. Maybe let's try this. I mean, do you all get together and brainstorm how to make this so incredible?
We actually teamed up. We have had Daniel on board the whole time, but we teamed up this year with Opportunity Knox, ART.
And tell me what that
Opportunity
is.
Knox. They are a community organization that tries to help kids develop their art skills, their
That's cool.
athletic skills.
Yeah.
And so they have entertainers like dance teams and stuff, and they're big in the community. So we brought them on board,
love it.
and they've really brought some new ideas to the program, but they brought along a lot of people they have contact with. So at this time, or at least last week, we had about 400 registered attendees coming last week.
Wow.
And that registration, we're just starting to push it out. Comms has just been getting that out the
You
last
don't
couple
even
days.
promoted it well, and you
No.
already have that many people
Yeah,
that
we're just
want to be
starting to
involved.
go to the
amazing.
camps at these different parks. Every
Yeah.
Cobb County park pretty much has a day camp that they run for the first 4 weeks of the summer.
Sure.
So we're trying to get out to them to bring even more and more.
Well, how do people get more information about that? Because I think that is so valuable, and I'm sure they fill up immediately because the word is already out there. But for anybody who don't know,
Well, if you go to cobbsheriff.org, you can go to community engagement. You can see the link on there to register for the event. You can see a little bit about that event, and you can see the other community events we have going, because we have community events going all the time. I mean, we got
this just happens to be the biggest.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have different, the 4th of July parade.
Yes, sir.
We just did, over the weekend, we did Juneteenth last week.
Yes, sir.
We did the Sheriff's Cookout this past Saturday.
That's what I want to get invited to.
Yeah, I mean,
Sheriff's
we
Cookout.
had
Count
a
me in for
pretty
that
good
one.
showing. So we have events going all the time. If you want to keep up with the Cobb Sheriff's Office, cobbsheriff.org, and you can really see the community events that are going. Because like I said in the beginning, it's not an outreach, it's an engagement. So
No,
we
that's
want to
right.
engage the community as many times and as much as we can.
There's so much value there, and the thing that I think I see the most, Daniel, out of these two men is just the passion that they have for what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
That the passion that y'all have, that you share, and that you clearly care about the work that you're doing, and you know that it's making a difference. You're seeing the difference that you're making, whether it is with the GD program or any of the other programs that you're talking about, Sergeant Finney, or even the bigger programs. I mean, I don't know that you can scale. They're just different, but the passion that y'all have, the fact that you care about your community so much is so admirable, and I think it's so so attractive for people in the community to see people in your position that give back and genuinely care about what they're doing. That's remarkable, and I don't know that you see it everywhere. I certainly don't want to put down anybody, but I just don't know that every municipality has men like y'all.
I know it just makes it fun to come to work. What do you think, Sarge? It makes it fun.
Absolutely.
No, it's a special thing to be a part of, and I know it has to be rewarding. and it brought you out of retirement, for heaven's sakes. You know?
Well, it's fun.
Yeah,
I'm
I know.
not really working. I'm just engaged in the community. I'm attending business meetings. I get to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner sometimes.
Yeah. Well, look at there. Well, that's a good day. Anytime you get 3 squares, count me in for that. You know, but that's the thing, Sergeant Finney. How long do you think you're going to do this?
Woo. Got about 4.5, 5 years left. If I can do this, I don't mind this. This I'll stay for.
It's almost, it was just like you said there, is that it's not work, and when it doesn't feel like work, you could do it forever.
Yes,
you know what I mean? When you go to work and it doesn't feel like work, I mean that's the cherry on top.
The reward is outweighing the work. So
yeah.
I don't mind the work if I can see the results, the rewards, and this is
cool.
rewarding.
Yeah, absolutely, and y'all do so much. Go through again real quick how people learn about the events that y'all are having, because sometimes you say a website quick and it's there and gone.
Yeah, so if they log in to cobbsheriff.org, just go to cobbsheriff.org, look down to community engagement. You'll see the events happening. Comms keeps it up. They keep the calendar up for us. They'll let you know of other events we're having. They also keep up with the different stuff as far as the GED graduations.
Yeah, sure.
We also have some of the other graduations where we have we run accountability courts out of the sheriff's office, so people graduate from DUI. You can also go to we have an app on your phone. You can
here we
get
go.
It's CCSO app, and you can download it to the phone. Keeps you up on. You can look all kinds of stuff on that.
It's a great app. The
Yeah,
app's
so if you
awesome.
want to know where the sex offenders are, because we have to track the sex offenders by law.
Yes,
Sheriff's
sir.
office is
Oh, for
responsible
sure.
for them, and we check them 4 times a year. So you can find out where they are on there. You can find out inmate information. If you want to you got somebody in there, a loved one in there, and you want to put money on the books,
Sure.
gives you information about that. There's a lot of information on those sheriff's apps.
Yeah, I
that'll
wouldn't
help
even
the
have known.
community know what's going on.
No, yeah, it's just that touch point, Daniel. I think that's the most important thing, is just having that relationship with the people that are, that are in your community.
Yeah.
Just having that touch point is so very important. When we come back on Extra 106.3, we'll wrap up Back Your Blue with our guests today from the Cobb Sheriff's Office, Major Stephen Gaynor and Sergeant Randall Finney, 2 of the finest folks that you'll hear from on this show. It's just the work they're doing is amazing. It's incredible, and it deserves to be pointed out, and that's why we're doing it today here on Extra 106.3. We will be right back.
This is Back Your Blue, presented by A Second Chance Bail Bonds, live on Extra 106.3 FM and streaming for free anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Welcome back. Final segment of Back Your Blue on Extra 106.3 with our guests from the Cobb Sheriff's Department, Major Stephen Gaynor and Sergeant Randall Finney. First of all, I just want to thank you for what you do. Thank you both for taking the time to come here and talk about it, man. What you're doing is extraordinary, and it deserves to be highlighted, and I appreciate it, and I know Daniel appreciates it at Second Chance, and the community at large, man, they appreciate it too. Now they get to hear about it. That's the thing, I think, more often than not, if you turn on the TV, you think the world is burning down, and maybe it is some places. Maybe things are going terribly. But there's always that ray of hope in men like y'all that can say, hey, there is good. All you got to do is open your eyes.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, you're always welcome. You're always welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time. I want to go back to something we were talking about, Sergeant Finney, we were talking about the GED program, the Parenting 101, the anger management, the probation programs that you are doing. And you mentioned one of the best stories was a guy that was, by the time he got his GED done, and then he got like 8 different certificates, and he was a marketable person. These days, it almost seems like college can be a waste of time, depending on the study, and you're spending thousands and thousands of dollars. Mike Rowe, y'all know who he is? Mike Rowe from the TV show Dirty Jobs. He does he's got a whole thing about going to trade schools and how developing a skill that you can put into use immediately. You're not going for 4 years. You're doing a trade program, and then all of a sudden you are marketable immediately.
Yes.
That's almost what I hear with some of these programs.
Absolutely is. We had, a detainee. This is probably the last construction class before I started.
Okay.
Completed the construction class and was hired, and is now making right at $100,000 a year.
Goodness gracious.
I mean, it's amazing. It's the certifications.
Yeah.
They're difficult to come by. Those classes are long. It's Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, intense studying all day. And so when you're finishing these classes and you get all these certifications, you can go to one of these construction sites and say, hey, this is what I have.
Raise your hand.
You're getting on right away.
Do you have to be in custody, or could you be in work release, or
It's a great question.
How does that, like, how do you get access?
So we don't really have work release anymore. After COVID, we got rid of work release.
Yep.
You have to be in custody and make contact with Sarge and get in that program. But he always offers that program. I mean, he is interfacing with all the detainees, and so they have the opportunity to get a hold of Sarge and get on that program and see what they can make of their lives.
Yeah, I love it.
And the exciting part is, because we have such a transient group of people, once you sign up and you get started and you get released, your information is there with Cobb Works. So you can go back and continue where you started, where you left off.
So that's what was going to be my next question.
Yep.
So let's say you get released.
Yep.
So your next stop would be Cobb Works.
Absolutely.
Right.
And you will pick up right where you left.
Is that
off.
like
They
Department of
offer
Labor?
GED programs.
Kind of?
Kind of.
Yeah, kind of a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, it
So-
has some overlap at least.
Right, correct.
What was that last part? What did you
No,
say?
I was saying they offer the similar programs.
Correct. Right. So like even with the GED program, if you're released and you're already in there, you can go to Cobb Adult Ed. We have letters for them that's in there that we give them once they're released.
That's so
Say,
cool.
this is the information you need. It's on you now.
I love it.
I'm not here to come motivate you
That's right,
to come to class.
But I would imagine that the motivation that you've already provided and
I
the
hope
goodwill
so.
that you've built would encourage somebody to take it
They'll
to
go
the
right to
next
class.
step. Absolutely, man.
Absolutely.
That's so terrific. What happens if you're in the midst of your program and you get released? Like, the timing doesn't work out. How does that work?
Like I said, you released,
And you go finish it.
you go finish it.
I love it. I love it. So is there any charge when you have to finish?
No.
It still stays
It's
under.
because you started here.
Yeah, sure.
So
Okay, that's
it's
great news,
Basically
man.
already paid for.
Yeah, I was just like, man, what happens? Because I know I'm a slow learner, man. It'd take me forever to get the class done to begin with.
No.
Y'all be kicking me on out, man. Like, wait, I gotta get finished. No, that's awesome. Major Gaynor. So just last kind of closing, because we got about a couple of minutes here. What is the relationship with the second chance bail bonds meant to Cobb County?
Well, they've just been big supporters. I mean, they've helped us develop these programs by funding and support. They come out to the events, too. They're just not the money people. They actually come out. They set up games and booths, like at our golf fundraisers, different events that we have. It's really been engaging to have them as part of the group. And I know, like Daniel said, they're not really supposed to associate and stuff, but they're not associating as bail bondsmen. They're associating as a company within Cobb County that wants to help Cobb County.
That's beautiful, man. That's the way it's supposed to be. Are there other companies that you'd like to just say thanks to and that you appreciate that comes out and works hard to?
Well, I mean, Opportunity Knox, who's our big supporter at this time, has developed. Usually Daniel has to get all the book bags, and we always lean on him to get them. But with Opportunity Knox on board, they have gotten a number of sponsors. They're bringing some more book bags. We're bringing the school supplies. They're bringing a lot to the table. And, I wanted to add to this that the social media that the comms people bring on Cobb Sheriff,
Yes, sir.
On Instagram, you can keep up with everything, how to put money on the books for an inmate. They have a great video on how to turn yourself in, how to bond somebody out, and the different programs that we have available. So there's a lot of stuff on social media that really can help them. And the one thing I forgot to tell you during all this is the back-to-school event runs from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
There you go, 10 to 2.
At Fair Oaks in Marietta, Fair Oaks Park in Marietta. Come out and join us. A lot of great events, bigger than ever this year around.
Just like a safe driver, 10 to 2. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. I got it. All right. But it's been a pleasure, man, to have y'all. Quickly before we wrap, what do you like to do, man, when you're not working your tail off? What keeps you busy?
I have a 6-year-old daughter, so that she keeps me busy.
Running you ragged.
And I am a sports nut.
Who's your team?
Atlanta Falcons,
There
Braves,
you go. There
Hawks.
you go. There you go.
But I'm a Tennessee Volunteer College fan.
Okay,
so-
all right. Who just unfortunately lost in the College World Series, but
Hey.
what a run they had.
Yes. It's,
To be in the championship game, that says a
Yeah.
lot about that program, and that football program's on its way back too.
I am so ready. I cannot stand it.
My son, one of his best friends, is a wide receiver as a freshman. He'll be a sophomore up there. He's an incredible kid. So
Yes.
we pull for him.
Good,
we pull for him.
good.
What about you, Major? What keeps you busy, man? What do you like to do when you aren't working your tail off and supposed to be in retirement?
Well, if I don't have a to-do list,
Yeah. Oh, honeydew. You got
yeah,
one of those. All
honeydew,
right.
Then I like working in the yard. I
Okay.
find it, relaxing, entertaining, gardening.
Okay.
So that's the thing I like to do. My grandkids are distant at this point. I mean, they're in Missouri in the Air
wow.
Force, and
Oh, wow. How about
my
that? God bless
youngest
them. Thank you for
daughter
the
is
service.
in the Army up in Virginia. So yeah, and my oldest daughter, she's very busy in real estate, so they keep pretty busy, and I don't get to see them as often as I'd like.
Great folks with great families behind them, man. Thank you so much for what you do, and thank you for taking the time to come in today. Thank you all. God bless you both.
Thank you.
This is Extra 1063. Back your blue, Daniel. Thank you as always, man. Without you, it doesn't happen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening, and we appreciate your time, and hope you'll join us again next week.
This is an Extra 1063 podcast. To hear more live and local content like this, tune into 1063 FM or download the Extra 1063 app.
It's Christmas in July at D. Geller & Son Jewelers, and that means D. Geller Diamond Dollars are back. All month long, earn 20% back on any in-store purchase towards anything in the store. Get yourself a beautiful new gold necklace, diamond earrings, or a new timepiece, and save up those diamond dollars to buy a loved one a Christmas gift later. Christmas in July at D. Geller & Son is the perfect opportunity to get more value for your summer shopping. So come shop with Atlanta's favorite jeweler, D. Geller & Son, this summer in Atlanta, Kennesaw, and Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
A lifetime of hard work, children laughing in the kitchen, family photos on a restaurant wall, a legacy that lives on. It all comes from the power of a conversation, like the one Tommy Hall had with First Horizon Bank about taking over his father's Charleston-based restaurant business. Now the table is set for a whole new generation. First Horizon Bank. Let's find a way. Go to firsthorizon.com/Tommy. First Horizon Bank, member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Mark Beckham with Atlanta Ramjack. We specialize in only foundation repair. What is foundation repair? Foundations sink or settle. These issues need to be addressed. It only becomes more costly the longer you put it off. What is the biggest cause of foundation problem? Either poor construction, inferior site preparation, or weather. Drought causes cracks in your foundations. If you see any signs of foundation issues, please contact us at atlantaramjack.com.